everybody. I'm Dane Sanders. I want to welcome you back to another Better Together meeting in your hometown, and really want to thank the leaders for all of their work behind the scenes to make a night like this possible for you and your town, and for all of you around the world who are seriously buying into this idea that as creative professionals and as photographers in particular and small business owners, we truly are better together than we are in isolation. This month's conversation that I hope will be resourceful came out of a question I received from one of the fast trackers, and it was really around a bunch of kind of anecdotes or circumstances in this person's life, but ultimately it came down to a question of how do I get unstuck? How do I get unstuck? And this will be the first of two videos we're going to do. This is one method to think about getting unstuck, and next month's actually will be even more in depth on the nature of change and how to address that. But for now, I want to just give a simple vision for you, a picture in your mind, and you guys are going to have a chance to talk about it as a group once the video is done. And it's really basic. If I'm in a place where I'm feeling stuck, like for example, let's say I'm driving a spaceship, and the spaceship bumps up against an asteroid, and there's an obstacle, and I want to get this thing through the obstacle, and I can't get it there. What do I do? Well, I would argue, if you want to blast through an asteroid, if that's the quickest way around the obstacle is through it, then my suggestion is you want to get in, kind of put your nose in there and create some friction and break it up, kind of like an iceberg ship would, and break up the obstacle and get through it. Well, how do you do that beyond the metaphor of breaking through an obstacle? Well, I think there's two easy ways to think about it. The first is, if you feel like you don't know what to do next, if you're in a position where that's the biggest question, I don't know the details of what task I need to go and do, I would argue what you need to do is chunk down or drill down or get concrete in specifics about what one thing, not a billion things, but what singular thing needs to be done next, what one task. And guess what? Once that one task is completed, you'll have one other task to go do, and then one other, and drip, 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 you will move closer to what you say you're committed to, as well as getting unstuck. Now, some of you are lost in the details, and you're like, gosh, I know all these things I need to do, and I'm overwhelmed by which thing should I go do first. Should I go do this task or this task or that? And if you're in that camp, then there's another strategy you can employ, which I call elevating up. Elevating up. So if you are down in the weeds and you can't see what's going on, elevate above the weeds and get some context. Step away from your to-do list and task list and look and say, where am I? Big picture, like think of like a satellite map or a Google map. Where am I, and where do I say I want to go? And as you begin to kind of see the bearings of plot lines of point A and point B and what you want to accomplish, you can then draw a straight line and then go, well, I know what next task I need to go do, and drill back down and take care of that task. So what you'll end up doing is you're going to create momentum. First, drilling down, and then elevating up. Drill down, elevate up. And as you practice this, especially when you do it in community, when you have people, other voices, people have a context for you in your business, as you take a risk and are a little vulnerable and share where you're lost in the weeds or where you're lost in the clouds, these folks and yourself, you can begin to plot a course that will make more sense for you than you've ever thought you could pull off on your own before. And the truth is, you're not pulling it off on your own. You're pulling it off in the context of community, and that's what this whole thing is about. So as the video ends, two things. Number one, thank your leader. Your leader's doing an amazing job on your behalf. And take a second just to acknowledge it. I'd really encourage you to do that. Number two, get into some conversations, either in small, tight groups, 2-3 people, or maybe as a larger group, around where are you in particular stuck? Are you stuck in the details? Are you stuck in the clouds? And how can you switch things up and go in the opposite direction of where you seem like you're perennially in the same spot? Create some momentum and see if out of tonight's meeting, like literally tonight, you can't plot a path on action that needs to be taken for you to move radically further than you are right now, a month from now. So when you come back, and you can celebrate it with your group. That's it for now. We'll see you on the Facebook boards and at all the different meetups. Thank you. I really appreciate all the Twitter comments and support and all you guys mean and stand for in our industry. It means a ton, and it encourages all of us leaders to continue to provide these kinds of resources for you. So thanks so much, and we'll see you next month.